And the Timberwolves are headed to the Western Conference Finals for the second year in a row. You mentioned that earlier. Tuesday's show, you said that you were unamused with what Minnesota's been doing. Have you seen anything? You seen anything in that last game? Maybe convince you that they're going to turn it around next round?
All right, so here's the optimist's view on Minnesota playing, I don't know, a total of 45 good minutes in that entire series. Like the third quarter of game 4, moments last night, and a few other various spots is after running out of gas by his own proclamation by the end of round 2 last year, Anthony Edwards learned from it and was like, you know what? I can save some of the nitrous tank for this next round because I don't need to deal with this. I don't need to go all out in this round. What I will tell you is Minnesota has to play drastically better in the next round to have a chance against Oklahoma City or even to beat Denver. And I think we'll talk Denver OKC in a minute. So I think that there was an understandable intensity letdown once it was clear Steph was out. And once it was clear that the Warriors simply did not have any offensive punch, but they absolutely need to be much, much better. But what I will also say is this already has been a successful season. I know that Timberwolves fans don't want to hear that. Like, no, we've never been to the finals. We want to make the finals. And of course, and you could make the finals. But it was pretty shocking that they made the conference finals last year because nobody thought they were going to beat Denver, certainly after they won the first 2 against Denver and then lost 3 in a row. And certainly not during Game 7. They were down 20 points in Denver. And then this year, it looked like that trade was a mistake and that they were going to take a major step back, and now they're in the exact same spot. And so I think that you have to be incredibly optimistic about the next half decade right now if you're Minnesota, but you also have to feel like, man, I know Ant's young, but the bracket might not break better than this for us again, particularly about who you potentially could be seeing in the NBA Finals. So this is a huge, huge moment, obviously, for the Timberwolves, and they just need to be better than they were really in this entire series. I don't think the Timberwolves have played an A-plus game or even an A game start to finish since Game 4 against the Lakers. And it is like really surprising and impressive, I guess, that
They
they
just
were able
rolled
to
through.
close out the Lakers and then win 5 of 6 against Golden State despite not playing their best. All right, Demonte, what I know we have a bunch of follow-ups here.
Indiana, do you think they're in the same boat as Minnesota? You know, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and they're both kind of showing it's not a fluke. You know, it's
Yeah,
good.
I mean, yes, I think that both for both of those teams, we looked at their conference finals appearances and put them in the same bucket that we put the Blazers like 6 years ago and the Hawks a few years ago. Like, I mean, that's cool, but it's probably not, really indicative of who they are. And the
Right.
fact that they both responded by not only getting to back to the conference finals, but getting back there in dominant fashion. I mean, neither of those teams have played a game 6 in these playoffs. Is that right?
Yeah.
Neither
At
have
the,
played a game 6 in these playoffs. That's really impressive. All right, let's keep going.
Who do you think Minnesota's rooting for in this series? Denver or Oklahoma City?
Well, they're definitely rooting for Denver tonight.
Right.
That's unequivocal because they want that thing to go 7. And then if I were them, I would be rooting for Denver because Denver would be back-to-back 7-game series with a 5.5-man team. And so I would just feel like we're going to have the rest and the youth and the legs. They wouldn't have home court over either one of them, but they are definitively rooting for Denver tonight. And then I would think probably, as terrifying as Joker is, you guys beat him in the playoffs last year. And I think you feel better about that matchup. All right, let's keep going.
Are you surprised by Julius Randle popping off in the postseason?
I'm shocked. And it's really impressive. And he deserves a ton of credit. He was a historically bad postseason performer in granted a limited sample. But him being a bad playoff guy to me meshed with how I viewed him as a player, which was kind of empty calories, at times played a selfish style of basketball. And he was unbelievable last night. He then had, I thought, a really good post-game interview where he was like, that was number 8. We just need number 9. I'm not worried about myself. And he seemed like just much more adult and mature, which maybe is that's what happens as you age. And he's been excellent, like really excellent. He has been better these playoffs than Kat has been. That note, one thing the Timberwolves really need in this next round is Dante to get rolling again. Like, a lot of us thought Dante was a sneaky, huge part of that trade, and Dante has not been in this postseason what we saw him like for the Knicks. But ton of credit to Julius Randle. A ton of credit. And I didn't see that coming, and he's been excellent. And that's really impressive.